Hi, crafty friends. Welcome to Millie Mae Paper Cafe. I'm so glad that you're joining me today. I hope you all had a fabulous week and you got lots of crafting done. I am still currently very busy setting up my studio to be just the way I like it. Made some progress this weekend. Not ready to show you yet, but we're getting closer. Um, I'm loving the space, so that's pretty exciting. And I am preparing myself to go on a trip. I'm leaving for Wisconsin next Wednesday. And as always with Millie Mae Paper Cafe, I love to spread kindness. I love to make somebody smile. I love to make somebody laugh. And so I am making some treats. I'm making some candy treats. Not only am I making them for my flight attendants and pilots and everybody who helps or whoever needs a smile that day, but my daughter is getting ready to go to Switzerland and she leaves this next week. And I thought it'd be fun for me to pack some fun little things with her so that she can give to her flight attendants and people who need a smile, need a little extra loving on in that 14-hour flight. So I'm going to make some of those today. And today, for me, for the ones that I wanted to for me to take, I wanted them to be pretty sturdy. I didn't want real little things that would fall apart and yada yada yada. So we're kind of making like a little box to put some treats in, but we're just putting the snack size Hershey Kiss or Hershey bars in. So it'll be super fun and super cute. So I don't really have a whole lot for you guys today. My husband took the day off today, so we're going to go spend the day together. And I have my class coming up, the Silly Goose class on June 13th. You don't want to miss that. You get this whole kit and caboodle of papers and ephemera and gems and all kinds of stuff, card bases. Not only will you make 4 cards in the class, maybe even 5, we'll see, but also like you'll get to go home with all this extra stuff to keep creating all these cards. So, and you're gonna have tons of choices, and it's your imagination is your limit. So get signed up for that. Spaces are filling up really quickly, and I'm super excited for that class. I am working my magic little fingers into a brand new class that something I've never done as a class before, and it's paper related, kind of, sorta, but stay tuned for that because there's some pretty fun things coming up. And like I hinted last week, in November, we're going to do our holiday, our Christmas crafternoon, and I'm also planning that at the same time. So I'm kind of working ahead in the months, and my brain is kind of fast forward into the holiday season. So right now I'm super inspired to do some Halloween and some Christmas stuff, and to be honest with you, we haven't even started summer yet, so that's okay. I That's just how you have to work ahead here at Millie Mae Paper Cafe. So I'm super excited about that. So keep watching, keep your eyes open for all that fun stuff, because that is going to be a blast. There was one more thing that I wanted to tell you. Oh, next Friday, I may or may not have a live, just because I will be in Wisconsin, and I will be spending time with my sister. And so maybe I'll use her little craft room and do something fun and exciting. But if not, then we are in full graduation mode. My nephew graduates next weekend, and I'll be helping her prepare for that. So if I do come on live, it will be from Wisconsin, and it'll be in a different space, but that will be fun too. So, all right, let's get the cameras down and focus on what we're going to do, and let's get started. All right, get this moving a little bit so you guys can see where I'm at, what I'm doing. All right, isn't this cute? So cute. It's like this little box, and I put a little pun on here, flying by to say thank you. And this is the treat box. So it's held together by a little Velcro. Light's kind of hard, you can't really see it. But then it has the Hershey snack bars in there. Let's see if we can kind of maneuver this light a little bit out of the way. There we go. And a little slot to hold the candy bars. We can decorate those all up too. See the little Velcro piece. You can use a magnet here. You can use some twine. I just had some pieces of Velcro lying around and I thought that'd be fun. So that is the little box that we're going to create today. So let's get started. Alright, so our measurements for this candy box are 11 inches long by 3 inches wide. And we're going to score at, let me get my scoreboard so I can show you. We are going to score at 1 1/4, 2, 3 3/4, 4 1/2, and then we're going to jump all the way to 7 3/4, and then 8 1/2. Okay? Get yourself some good score lines in there, bend it all nice and neat. Then you're going to, if you want, you can go ahead and kind of fold this because, I think I did it on the wrong side. Let's see here. I did. I was ready to go and I did it on the wrong side. So we'll just cut a new one real quick and I'll run it through my machine. See, even professionals sometimes get it a little wrong. But the good news is that you can get a couple of these boxes out of one sheet of paper. So that's fantastic. And it doesn't take just one piece of paper to make this little treat box. Alright, so again, we're going to go, it's at 11 by 3. We're going to score it at 1 1/4, 2, 3 3/4, 4 1/2, 7 3/4, and 8 1/2. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold on the crease lines that we just did, the score lines, so that I can kind of have an idea of where that cut is going to go. So it's going to fold like so, and I'm going to want my cut right here on this, see how on this one I did it the wrong way? I did it up here. Whoops! What I really wanted to do is do it down here, in between these little score lines. So, that's okay. It's just paper. I'm going to place that. Now, I just have a die for a banner like, but you could use the Stampin' Up! Slot punch. You could just cut it with an X-Acto knife. There's lots of options that you can do here. Let me run this through real quick, and then we'll get it finished. I think my machine is dying. It's getting so loud. Alright, got that guy through. Get it out of there. Alright, we'll peel this off very carefully so we don't scratch any of the paper. Okay, so now we got it all right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the time to crease these score lines really well, because we don't want anything bowing, or see how right here it, because of that cut, it bends that paper. So we want that to be nice and flat and straight. We're going to crease all of our score lines. I just put on a post yesterday on Facebook about how my favorite tool really is the bone folder. I love this tool. It is so versatile. It really makes my life a lot easier. I highly recommend that you all get one of these and add it to your stash, because it is just a tool that comes in super duper handy. Okay, so we're going to put some tape. I'm going to use tearaway tape and put that on my piece so I can get it adhered together. I find that you really can use liquid adhesive, you can use tearaway tape, whatever your heart desires. For me today, this was just a quick and easy way to go. Alright, so now we're going to take this. Now I'd like to try to stand it up so it's on something flat, and I bend it and hold it. I want this part to be nice and straight. So while I'm holding it down on my flat surface, and now I stuck it together. If you were using liquid adhesive, you wouldn't have this issue. There we go. I am using a heavyweight cardstock as well to adhere this together, because I didn't want it to be a real flopsy-mopsy situation. I wanted it to be pretty sturdy. Alright, so I got that on there. I got that all pretty much straight. We're going to go in and just with my bone folder and get that adhered down nice and good. So our box is coming together. I'm going to, there we go. So now we basically have the shell of our treat holder, and now we can start decorating. I have some pieces already cut to the correct size. What I want to the paper I want to use to decorate this with. Just going to use a little tape runner and adhere my pieces of paper together so that I get a cute little border going all the way around my paper. This is going to go on the front. And this is where you get to use your imagination and decorate it any way that you like. I'm going to decorate this top portion. And to be honest with you, when I didn't have any measurements for these decorative pieces of paper, I just went ahead and cut everything about 1/8 of an inch smaller than what the actual size of the paper was. So if you want to make yours a little bit bigger, wider, you know, you could make your treat holder maybe 6 inches wide, and then you would get 3 candy bars in here instead of just 2. So there is that possibility. Okay. This really starts to come to life when you start adding your paper to it and all your embellishments. Now I'm going to place my little pieces of Velcro, and I usually just put them together and then place the one end right where I want it, and then I take the scratchy side and I release it from its backing, and I place it on there and then push it on so that it's held tight. Already it's coming together as a cute little box to make really fast. So so we got that part done. Now what we want to do is we want to decorate our little snack size Hershey bars. And for this particular one, I'm just eyeballing it. I want it, I mean, you can certainly, absolutely, positively, just put the Hershey bars in there and you are good to go. And then they know what they're getting. But I like to add it add some decorative paper to it and just kind of zhuzh it up a little bit more. So I'm going to go on here and just lay my Hershey bar and cut it off probably, maybe 1/4 of an inch shorter than my bar. And I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on the side, and I'm going to stick my Hershey bar down on that adhesive and then just kind of wrap it, eyeball it where I want it to be cut so that it ends it, put some adhesive on the side, pull it tight, and then pull it over and glue it down. And then I stick it in there. See how adorable that is? Just all matches and cutesy cutesy. Alright, so this one's a little long again. I'm just going to give that a little trim. Do the same thing. Sorry, I'm off camera. Wrap it. Give it another little haircut. Put my adhesive on there and pull it tight and fold it over. And now I got 2 adorable little candies right there. Put this aside. So now we want to work on the front. So I'm going to close this up. And we are going to work on our how we want to decorate it. I went ahead and cut off or cut up the word thank you from a die set that I had. And I think for this one, I think we'll just make it pretty much the same as I did for the other one, just because I want them to match. I'm going to put in my piece of paper here into my MISTI so that I can stamp the words flying by. Alright, gotta move it up a little bit. There we go. And this particular stamp is, for some reason, it's a little bulky on the flying by, so I'm just going to do some pretty soft touches and then go back and do it a couple times if need be, just to get it to be a nice crisp. Very good. And because I'm using Versamark, I want to kind of let that sit for a second, so let's work on the thank you. And I want to show you a very cool trick for getting glue on these little pieces. You know, you could take your liquid adhesive, or you could just do this all together. Put a piece of double-sided tape on the back of your paper and then cut it out, and then it's just got the adhesive on the back. Easy peasy way to go. You could go in with your glue and do this dot, 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 and, you know, be very careful and do these little dots. However, I think a fun, quick way to go is to actually put a little adhesive on your hand. This all takes you all back to kindergarten when we used to play with glue. Then you take your words, and I like to take tweezers because it just works a little bit better. And then you're going to dip it into the glue on your hand, and that way you are getting just what you need in the spots you need it, and you're not having to do these little dot dot dots. Okay, so we'll place that one right there, and we'll go in for the U. This is just a fun little trick to get that glue and you're not making a huge mess with all the little dots. And then you can either wipe this off, or in about 45 seconds this will be completely dry and you can just have fun peeling it off like you did when you were in kindergarten. All right, I want this to be a little bit of at a wonky angle. This one to be pretty straight. And of course I'm going to pop that little guy up. Grab a couple little pieces of foam tape. And you know, because I cut this out of a die that's like a banner, I can most certainly use this and stamp thank you real little on it, and you know, do other things or put a for you here, and there's quite a little bit of embellishments that you could do, and just reusing this stuff that you've already cut. That's not sitting around forever. Okay. You could also, instead of using a Velcro piece or a magnet to close this, you could do a couple different things, and that would be one, you could punch a little hole right here in the center, an 1/8 inch hole, use some twine, secure it through that, and then wrap it around like so to hold it shut, and then tie it. That'd be super cute. You could also take a die cut piece and put the die cut here, let's say a flower. Let's see, maybe I'll just use as an example. If you had this cut in the shape of a flower, put that on here, and then you can tuck this part into that flower so the flower holds it and is kind of the front on there. But so there are, just saying that there's lots of different ways that you can decorate these up and make them super adorable. So there we go. We have a flying by to say thank you. You've got 2 little Hershey bars in there. You could write a little note in here to the pilot. Have a good day. Thank you for your help. Whatever. Just a fun little thing to have in your carry-on bag to hand out to people to help them smile, because we all know that sometimes flying can be a little stressful. So those are my adorable little candy treat boxes for you today. I hope you enjoyed them. I hope you're able to get them to be made. See how this is almost completely dry, and I'll have fun peeling that off in just a little bit. So you guys have a fantastic, fabulous weekend. I am going to jet off and get some more of these things made, and I will all, hopefully, Lord willing, see you next Friday from Wisconsin, and have a great weekend. Love you guys. Bye.